Announcing the commencement of the first purge.
I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags, and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Just remember all the good the purge does.
Good morning, everyone. It's May 28th, 2018. I'm here at Blacklisted News. Swift Injustice, the terrifying case of Tommy Robinson. Many of you probably already know who this dude is, but for those of you who don't, he is an individual who has spent the last couple of years anyway, at least a couple of years, and trying to expose the royal pedophile ring, among other people, not just royals, but that was the main focus. And because he's spoken out against these fucking pedophiles, he is going to spend the next 13 months behind bars. He's been denied access to his lawyer, and yeah. So we have Stefan Molyneux, Lauren Southern, Black Pigeon Speaks, Alex Jones, Paul Watson, and so on, speaking out against this. And here's the deal. These people will constantly talk about the rule of law, and how we can't be ruled by men. Well, here's the thing. Men make the laws. So, if you're gonna promote the idea that we are to be ruled by the rule of law, and you're breaking the law, even in this case, you should probably reconsider what you're asking for. Because again, law is, you can't be ruled by law because it's made by man. So in Britain, rapists enjoy the right to a full and fair trial, the right to legal representation of their choice, the right to have sufficient time to prepare their cases, and the right to go home on bail between sessions of their trial. And these rights were denied Tommy Robinson. And this is a great example of just how cuckish and weak and I'll just leave it at cuckish and weak the Britain people are, the British people. Now, their kids, for decades, many decades, have been kidnapped, molested, and many times murdered by these fucking scum royals and their henchmen. You would think that after enough children disappeared, and people know, they know who's doing it and what's going on. They know. Just like the people of the United States, we know why our children disappear. We know. And from that aspect, we are just as weak and cuckish as the British. Now, if you knew that the pedophile down the street got your kid and you know, they had your child held in some fucking dungeon, wouldn't you go kill that pedophile and get your kid? And let's say, for the sake of argument, this pedophile killed your child. No matter who it is, you would think that you would want their fucking heads on silver platters. But no. Not the British. Not the Americans. Oh no. No, no. Because our leadership is so much more important than our children. We all know that all these pedophiles should be hanging from trees. Every single one. No matter who they are, no matter what position they held or hold currently. So, you know, this guy got arrested for trying to do the right thing, and I say trying to, because he's missing one important detail. Anytime you speak out against these people and they're guilty of what you're talking about, you either end up behind bars or dead. And in my opinion, there's only one way to deal with that situation. One and only one way. It would save a lot of people from going to prison, and it would save a lot of children from being either molested or raped, and in many instances both. But these people, Alex Jones, Lauren Southern, all of them, they talk about the rule of law, and this is the rule of law, this is what you get. So the police dragged Robinson in front of a judge where, without having access to his own lawyer, was summarily tried and sentenced to 13 months behind bars, and then he was transported to Hull Prison. The judge who sentenced him also ordered the British media not to report on his case. Newspapers had recently already posted reports of his arrest quickly took them down. Even ordinary citizens who had written about the arrest on social media removed their posts for fear of sharing Robinson's fate. All this happened on the same day. A kangaroo court, then a gag order. I think he's missing some words in there, don't you? Kangaroo court then ordered or gave a gag order. In the United Kingdom, where rapists enjoy the right of full and fair trial, the right to legal representation, the right to have sufficient time, and the right to go home on bail. They were not offered to Mr. Robinson. And of course, you know, you're supposed to have the ability to defend yourself, and he didn't. And just like we Americans don't really have the ability to defend ourselves in court. If you don't believe me, just get in trouble one time with your ruling class and see just how hard it is to defend yourself in the court of man-made law. Anyway, it is very ironic that these people are crying crying about these people who cry we need to be ruled by law, the rule of law, the rule of law. And when the law hands down a unjust and swift sentence, they cry foul. This is the rule of law. You can't have it both ways. But I get it. I get it. A police state is undesirable unless it's your kind of police state. Right? That's what it really boils down to. And this is a reason why I don't subscribe to that thinking where, you know, the rule of law reigns supreme, because these laws are all man-made. They are all the dictates, whims, and opinions of the people who think they have a right to rule you, regardless of the political party, Republican, Democrat. You've got to remember, these people work together to create our laws. These people have to agree, and so does the president, to make our laws. Until next time, kill the state and live free.